Hey crafty friends, Jen Cassell here. I'm back with another design team project share and tutorial for ScrapDiva Designs. So here is all of her info. Make sure to use that hashtag ScrapDiva Designs for some amazing inspiration. So today I am going to be showing you how I put together these cute little embellishment boxes. So this was my first one here, and I love how it turned out. So cute. So I have that Hey Boo die cut from ScrapDiva on the front. This big spider web in the back. That is Scrapaholic's chipboard. I've used the star bow at the top. You're going to see a whole bunch of ScrapDiva flowers. I do have tutorials on the Halloween flowers that I used on this. And then I just did some die cuts from my stash. I really tried not to do too much die cutting. I really wanted to use some of my stash. I've got a lot of Halloween right now, and I'm trying to use it up this season before I buy anything else. So I've created like a little belly band, and then I added, let's take this off, this box top to it, and I'm going to show you how I created this box. It's a lot of fun. So I started with this box it held some wood die cuts in it, and I picked it up. I want to say it was either Mike, I know it was Michael's, probably last year, maybe the year before. But I see these all the time, and they come out with them for like summer and all that kind of stuff. So I just painted my box. I added some paper to it, and then I made these gorgeous embellishments using the wood pieces that were inside the box. I still have a ton of wood pieces left over too. That's one of the cool things. So I did this adorable hocus pocus. And then we have this happy Halloween spider. I have a little skull. These moons are some of my favorite. Love, 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 love. We're going to be doing some mixed media. I'm going to go over on how I made these embellishments as well. It's probably going to be a little bit of a long video, but so cute. And then last but not least, we've got a cute little witch's hat. And then this one we did, this is the Skull mini album from ScrapDiva. I found this really cool glitter spider. I used the 31. This is the new alpha die. Once again, you'll see that star bow, some of the handmade flowers. Just super cute, super, super cute. Once again, we've got our belly band. And this one, I ran out of that really fun acetate that I used. And everyone's going to ask, this Quatrefoil Acetate is from 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. It is hands down one of my favorite acetates. I absolutely love playing with it. This is just acetate from Barely Art as well. And I have coupon codes for both places if you want to pick up the acetate. Make sure to head on over to Barely Art, where you can use my coupon code JENNCASCELL, or you can head over to 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop and use JENC19 for your coupon code there, and you can save at both the shops. As always, if I've inspired you in any way, please feel free to use my coupon code at ScrapDiva Designs, which is JEN10, to save in the shop. So here are my embellishments here. Oh, so cute. So, so, so cute. So we got another one of these little moons. This cute little spider web. I have another spider. And my skull. One more witch's hat. And then I also have this eek as well. If you would like to see how I created these, stick around. Okay, so to make my box, I'm starting with this simple chipboard box. I am going to insert a picture of what it looked like to begin with. Now, this is just something that I picked up from Michael's. I want to say it was either last season or the season before, but I have seen these before. And the box is just a simple chipboard box. I mean, raw wood, and I painted it. So I'm using pattern paper to cover up the side or the interior of the box. So you can see I just kind of did a real rough paint job on it. I will warn you, if you're using a raw chipboard box like me, I would go with a darker color like I did this time around. I did the black this time, and then my first box was a pink box. Because it's raw chipboard, it is really going to soak up your paint. So just keep that in mind. It took me about 3 coats of a really good, I use Martha Stewart paints, and her coverage is usually really great, but I had to use 3 coats on the raw chipboard. So I've painted and I've cut my papers to size. If you're using this box, I cut mine to 2 3/8 square for this box. And then the box itself measures 7 5/8 by 5 3/8. And then I just took an 1/8 inch off those measurements to create the back panel here. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these on, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've covered my box in pattern paper. I have my big one on the back, and then I did the smaller inserts here. Now I'm going to move on to the lid of my box. I have cut down a piece of acetate. I measured my box. So once again, this was 7 5/8 inches across. I added 1.5 inches to it. And then this is 5 1/4 inch. And then once again, I added a 1/2 inch to it. Once you have it cut, you're going to score at 3/4 of an inch on all 4 sides. You can see that I've already gone through and I did my slots for this. Sorry, I've been crafting, guys, and I use my fingernails as a tool. And I did a lot of mixed media. So you're going to make your box by folding in these edges. I did not use my bone folder on this portion. All I did was use my fingertips just so that I wouldn't scratch my acetate. When I'm making an acetate box, I don't usually use a liquid adhesive. You could do a hot glue if you wanted, but really I prefer double-sided tape. And for this, I'm using red line tape. So if you've never used red line, you need like a hammer and chisel to get this off. So make sure that you're putting it in the spots that you really want it to go. And I'm going to do that on all 4 of the tabs that I created. So I have my double-sided tape on my box, and I am going to bring this over and just set it on top. Now you're probably noticing that my box is definitely not 3/4 of an inch tall. That's okay. I wanted it to be a little taller because I wanted some clearance for the embellishments. When I do embellishments, they're a little taller than a 1/2 of an inch at times. So I made sure to account for clearance. And the fact that we're doing a belly band, you're not even going to notice. So it fits fine just on top of my box. And I'm going to come in with this strip of paper. So I think that I would like my belly band. Yeah, let me see. Which do I like better? Do I like this better? Or do I like this better? I think I'm going to go with the orange. I like the orange. Okay, so I'm going to kind of figure out where my center is on this. probably head right about here. And then I'm just going to do a temp fold right where I want my box, my belly band to be. Once again, just kind of doing a temp fold and bringing that over. You don't have to go all out on this. Just kind of give it a rough estimate. Make sure everything lines up. I like it. Perfection. Now I'm going to grab that same red line tape that I was using and add a strip here and a strip at the bottom. Once I have the protective layer taken off, I'm just going to line up this, bring my box over. Perfection. Now I'm just going to reinforce this top layer here with a dab of hot glue. And this is all getting covered, so I'm not even worried about it showing. All right, for now I'm going to set this aside and we're going to start working on what's going to go on top of the embellishment. So I have cut out, this is the skull mini album from ScrapDiva Designs last October or September release, I believe it was. I did do the silver sequined glitter cardstock from 12 by 12 Cardstock Shop. I love this stuff. If you haven't tried it, guys, run over there. I will link it in the description box. So good. Cuts beautifully. So I'm going to use my scissors just to trim off. And you can tell I did this on a piece of scrap glitter cardstock. This is also from 12 by 12. It's the Starry Night of the Glitter Luxe. Super, super pretty. So I've also cut foam and I am going to go ahead and layer my skull and crossbones. And then I'm going to use that black glitter cardstock on the back of my foam. Bring down. All right, so this is how my little skelly turned out. And I'm gonna pop her right on top like this. And because I've used foam, I'm not using pop-up dots or anything like that. And if you haven't tried Bearly Art, you really should. It's hands down the best. It's just awesome. So here's how my little skelly is starting out. I did not cut the bow that is included with this. I wanted to do my own bow. And I have a couple. I think I'm going to be using... I have a couple to choose from. So I did this one. These are made with the August release, the triple star bow. These ones are made out of. And this one I just really kind of layered up. This one would go like that. Or I have this one from my stash. Now, I really tried not to do too much die cutting for this project. I really wanted to make it like simple and easy. So I have this one left over. This was in my stash as well. I don't know. Let's bring the box over to see how it's gonna look. So we got this one here, super cute. There we go. Oh, adorbs. Okay. And then we have this one here. That could be really cute too. So I'm probably going to end up cutting this off. Although I do have another one that I started. I have this bow, and this was actually left over from my embellishment book that I haven't quite put together yet. I'm just going to cut this off using some scissors. And there's going to be a ton of stuff at the top of this when I'm done embellishing. So you're not even going to notice that I've cut the top of that off like so. I'm gonna do that right there. Super cute. Okay. And now I'll come over with my bow and I'll pop that right on top here. All right, so I've kind of pulled a few of the things that I would like to try using on this, and I'm going to start with embellishing my bow. I have these really cool holographic leaves, and this is a ScrapDiva die from her first flower die set, and I used it on this super cool paper from, once again, 12 by 12. It's that holographic. So cool. I did it on this spider web too. I'm just going to use a tiny bit of hot glue on this spider web because this is going to be the base of my floral cluster down here. So after I get those completed, well, no, I'm going to add in a flower center to my bow as well. And we'll kind of work on that in just a second. I'm going to move on over to my floral cluster. And I know that I'd kind of like this purple flower up here. I wanted a glint of purple coming out. And then this one is going to kind of go right in here. And that is, these two flowers are actually from the August release as well. This is the Fantasy Floral die, as well as the Embellishment Book flower die set. Great die set. I do have tutorial on this. As you can see, this is one of the flowers that I made during the tutorial. And I also picked out this super cool sparkly spider. All of this stuff is from my stash. Like I said, I really tried not to do anything new. So good. So good. All right, and then I'm thinking maybe I should do this. Yeah, I want to add a little bit more orange to it. Maybe? I don't know. What do you guys think? I also have this that I wanted to add in. I do kind of like that. What do you think about that? No? I don't know. Maybe? No. Maybe I'll do it over here. What does that look like? Oh, I kind of like that. What do you think? Okay, so I ended up going in. This 31 is from the August release. I did end up doing just a little bit of die cutting. I actually already had the foam bases for this, so all I did was die cut. This is the Uppercase Alpha, and you do get numbers with it, guys. Such a good die set to have. I would say this is going to be in my all-stars. Like, I really like this die set. It's a really good font too. So I ended up cutting that out of the same hot pink cardstock that I used for my skull. I then went over it. This is just in my little bag of magic tricks. I love the Nouveau drops, or you could use stickles, or these are color pops, and this one is glitter snowflake that I used for this. So I just run it on over. It just looked a little too plain with all of the bling that I have on here, so I just kind of add some glitz and glam to it. And now we're going to focus on creating our embellishments. I'm starting with the wood pieces already painted in an acrylic base. The witch hat, I am dry brushing some Barely Art glue so that I can do some black glass glitter. I'm once again adding some holographic glitter to the ink. Now I'm adding some foil to my spider, and I'm just using Barelier to adhere the foil pieces. Now I'm adding some texture paste to the skull, and I'm just doing that with a paintbrush, and I'm using a pretty heavy hand for it. I'm going to add some art stones to the texture paste, and the texture paste dries clear, so the art stones can also be painted if you wanted, but I decided to go in with some glass glitter for this, and I'm doing the exact same techniques with that moon. So I'm covering it with a mixture of art stones, foil. I'm also doing some glass glitter with this. It's going to be a fun one. Before we get started on embellishing my embellishments, I just kind of wanted to show you a little bit about what goes into the thought process. Now, I have a general idea of what I'm going to do for each of these, but before I come up with my plan, I just kind of grab all of the supplies that I think that I'm going to want or need. And like I said, with this project, I am really trying to pull from my stash and not do too much die cutting. So I have all of my paper flowers. You're going to see some of the handmade ones from my last tutorial. You'll see a bunch of new release, but I just kind of pulled my general color palette from my stash and I set them on this tray. In this little tray, you're just going to find all of the little things that I plan on using, not just for this project. This is obviously a lot, but for the next couple projects coming up, because I am doing this kind of a Stuff That's embellishment box series or embellishment book series. So you're going to find, I always have like leaves on hand, and they're in that same holographic cardstock. I do have a few black ones in here as well. This is a little die cut ghost. This is from my Cricut from last season that I made. I did this a few times, like slightly larger as well. You're going to see some bats. I have some spider webs over here, and I've got a ton of them cut out. These are all nothing that I've created this year, just mixed from my stash. You're going to see some die cut ones. You're going to see some Cricut ones in here. Here's just some print and cut embellishments, the little ghosts. This was from my stash as well. I have some of my titles over here. Once again, you'll see some of the leaves. Those are so good to put inside. I have this cute little vinyl ghost sticker that I thought would be absolutely adorable. You're going to see the rest of that coquette clip art that I created, and this was used on the original embellishment book that I shared yesterday. I will link that, of course, but I mean, look at this, so stinking cute. And then I have a couple of banners as well. I doubt I'll be using them on this project, but yeah, you never know. I have some holographic sunglasses that I know I'm going to put on my skull. There's a bunch of little teeny tinies in here. There's a 31. That's crepe paper. I have a ton of their print and cut from the Hey Pumpkin Digital. There's an acrylic bone, a little bow dangle. I have a little witch's boot in here. Inside here, you're going to find these teeny tiny little ghosties. I think this is nail art. I picked them up on Temu. I really don't like to buy from those sites all that much, but I don't mind buying like little like resins and stuff like that. I just don't agree with the whole stealing of people's artwork. The fact that I have several of my projects on Temu really just ticks me off, if you want to know the truth. More nail art, once again, nail art, and nail art here. I did some of these buttons galore. These are buttons, actually, and I can just pull the shanks off them if I want to use them. And then I did find these really cute resin ghosts as well. Once again, Temu fine, but I don't really mind buying stuff like that. And then here are some sequins, and they're stars and moons and super holographic and cool. But that's kind of my thought process that goes into, you know, creating a set of embellishments. So, oh, and I did leave out my glitter glue, this glitter snowflake, because I thought that could be kind of cool on a few of these. So I'm just gonna bring out this little guy here. And I know that I would like to use, I was thinking this one on here. I thought that could be kind of cool because it does have the spider web hanging off of it. Just very, very cool. So I'm going to pop that right on top. We'll start there. Now remember, we're going to be using these inside the embellishment box. So I'm being mindful of exactly how much overhang I have on this. And then I'm going to go in. I have a few little teeny tiny bats that I was thinking about using. And I also have these teeny tiny ghosts as well. And that's it. That's what I'm going to do for that one. Really cute. Now for my skull, I know I want to use my sunglasses on this. I'll add the sunglasses with some foam just to pull it up. Make sure to use some hot glue because we've got all that stuff on there, so it's not exactly a flat surface that we're dealing with. Okay, so now that I have my sunglasses on, I'm gonna work on some flowers for my skull, and I'm gonna grab this orange one as my base. And then, no, should I? Oh, I do kind of like the orange. And then I'll go in with, it's like a darker coral, almost an orangey color. And I really kind of like the way that looks. I know it's a little different. It's a little different, but it's kind of cool. And then I think I want to do some like black branches. So I'm pulling out, this is my Martha Stewart Pine Branch Punch. I love this thing for Halloween, and I'm just gonna do a couple of these. I'm gonna count it as not cheating. I know I'm not die cutting per se, but I am creating new stuff. But I'm going to tally it up as using my old stuff because I am using some scrap paper for it. Oh, the justifications that we make while we are crafting. Top it with this little cutie patootie ghosty. I like that. Cute. Really cute. Here we go. Next, I'll grab my witch hat. So I'm going to first go in with this holographic leaf, and then I'll add the purple on top of that. I also kind of wanted to tuck in my little candy corn off to the side here. And then I grabbed this 31. Don't worry if you're getting some stringies. You can just use your heat gun to melt those right into your project. So I'm going to start off with this little hanging spider. This is a die cut from ScrapDiva. I'll go in with my floral cluster, and I'm going to add this cutie patootie at the top. And I thought this was resin. I hadn't even opened the package. Well, lo and behold, it's actually more of like a rubber eraser style. And then I'm going to add, let's do this next because it's going to sit up a little higher. I'm going to use this Hocus Pocus, and this is just a print and cut from my stash. I've added a little hot glue to this. I'll just top it all off with this. Look at how fun. Okay, so I'm starting off this eek with a little spiderweb background, and then I'm going to add in a little leaf to set up my floral at the base. And I'm just using the teeniest, tiniest orange flower here. got another cute little pink one that I'm just going to buttress right up to it. I don't want to cover that E too much. And then last but not least, I've got a little tiny spider. So cute, right? And for my final one, I am going to come in with this spider. And as you can see, I'm just using my thumb to get all of that excess off. I'll even use my tweezers a little bit just to kind of give it a shave, essentially. So this is what it looks like now. Okay, so for the last one here, I am just going to do a little cluster in the center. I'm going to keep it kind of simple with this one. And stems here in the holographic are ScrapDiva. And then I'm going to do a tiny black flower in the center. I'm just going to top it with this little nail sticker here. So that's how this one turned out. All right, so I've put all of my embellishments into the box that I created. So cute, you guys. Look at how fun this is. And you could add some sequins in here, just kind of drop some sequins, or you could do some crinkle paper, and that would just kind of give it like a glow up a little bit. And then I'll just pop my box top right on top here and then slide my belly band on. And now I'm ready for some shipping. So cute, right? I love it. And let's take one more look at my original box with that amazing acetate. This stuff just sparkles. I love it, love it, love it, love it. So thank you so much for watching. As always, if I've inspired you in any way, please feel free to use my coupon code JEN10 for 10% off your purchase at the shop. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them in the comments. So I will see you in the next crafty video. Bye.